this to you guys on this quietest of quiet news days. Not much going on. Or is there? A quiet day indeed, I don't think so. And welcome to the Daily Preach for the 25th of July. It will say on YouTube the 26th of July. Why? Because you guys get it a day late for not tuning in live and taking part. If you have questions for me, I can see you. I can see you talking to me. Awesome. Place them now. I will scroll through them and towards the end of the show, and then we'll talk about them then. So, what's going on in the world today in terms of gaming? Well, yes, there is an obvious subject, which we will get to very, very soon. No problem with that. First thing I want to make you aware of, though, because this is fucking awesome news, is Left 4 Dead 2 has finally released its DLC, and it's completely free. The Coldstream DLC, which is a full extension of the campaign. And not only that, but Steam, in good honest, well, it is Valve after all, let's face facts. Steam actually dropped Left 4 Dead 2 to 75% off, so it's £3.74 on Steam at the moment for Left 4 Dead 2, and you get all the DLC for free as well. So it's fucking awesome. So go out and get that if you haven't got Left 4 Dead 2. Great co-op game. If you want to check out preachgaming.com and you've got a copies of Left 4 Dead 2, play with the ballers. Why the hell not? Play with some fucking cool guys. Yes. So, we're going to be a little bit busy around the end of September, aren't we? And it's not going to be playing Guild Wars 2. No, it's not. The 25th of September! Mists of Pandaria release. Holy shit! Fuck me! Good news day or what? This is the day. I actually spoke to one of the ballers today in game and they were saying, when do you think it's going to be released? I said, not too long after Guild Wars 2 comes out. It's not ready yet. Mr. Pandaria is not ready yet. I can tell you that from playing the beta a lot. I play the beta a hell of a lot. I raid on the beta. I do all the videos for you guys on the beta. I can tell you right now, it's not quite ready. But will it be ready by September 25th? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it will release. I think it's going to have some problems. But it doesn't matter because Guild Wars 2 is coming out and it's another potential WoW killer. It is possibly going to happen. And we've got a good question from one of the ballers as well today concerning that. But Mr. Pandaria will release on September 25th. For some people, this is fantastic news. The results hit the Method forums. Some people were like, this is brilliant. This is perfect. It's a week before I start university. I do all that stuff. For the other guys, it's really, really bad. They've already just started university. Sometimes got birthdays. That's always going to happen. Hell, that is just the way of the world, but it's coming and it's going to be big news for us at Preach Gaming. Obviously, I've got 2 level 11 classes, including one from the start. Not looking forward to that too much, but I will get there, no doubt about it whatsoever. I'm also going to be raiding a lot and doing all sorts of stuff, so you can expect a ton of live streams. That's what you can expect. So if you're not getting Mr. Pandaria at the very release, don't worry, I will be live streaming as much as humanly possible. We won't be able to access hard modes at least until week 2. So I'll be streaming everything. And getting guides out and pushing stuff out to YouTube. Going to be a huge time for us at Preach Gaming. Going to be an immense moment. I'm hoping to organise some sort of party, like we did for Star Wars: The Old Republic. If you've never seen that on the YouTube channel, check out the 24-hour live stream we did of Star Wars: The Old Republic. Me and Ghost, 24 hours straight. It was a great night. We had loads of people there. Even when the servers went down, we dived onto Team Fortress 2. We played all sorts of other games with the live viewers. We'll do something similar. We'll get it worked out. We'll get a party organised. It's going to be 2 thumbs fresh, people. It's going to be 2 thumbs fresh. So, September 25th, Mr. Pandaria is coming. And also remember, the PTR is up. It is up, and you can go and test out your new characters and all that kind of stuff. Some people complained that what was the point in getting the early access to Mr. Pandaria when this PTR was announced? Of course, Mr. Pandaria is not on the PTR. It's just the talent changes. It's just the talent changes. It's nothing to do with Mr. Pandaria other than it's the talent changes. We always get this before the expansion. Why? Because they can't just alter the talents if people buy Mr. Pandaria. That is just the way the talent system is now, whether you buy the first game, the second game, the third game, or the fourth game. That's just how it is. Okay? So you just need to make sure that's what's happening. The talent changes are coming in, the glyphs are coming in, head enchants are disappearing. Why? Why not just switch them off when Mr. Pandaria launches? Why just gimp everybody? I don't understand that. I'm sure there's people who are desperately still working towards reputations and stuff like that, and they're going to get screwed over royally. So that's all fucking funny. A couple of things I wanted to address today. Now, I'm going to link this in the live chat, and I'm also going to link it on the YouTube video. Boomf. Done. This is a thread. Now, I'm sure some of you are aware I did a video called A Problem in the Mists of Pandaria, brackets. And it was a video that I never intended to go very further other than me talking to the usual subscriber base, but it did. It kind of spread everywhere, like got its fingers all over the place and all that kind of stuff. And it was a video where I didn't, you know, look, it's one of those things where you just don't expect it to go that big, and then you look back and you think, God, there was so much more I wanted to say and probably could have said better, but whatever, what can you do? There's a ton of threads. Now, at first I was ignoring these threads. I didn't want to be involved. I didn't want to stick my nose in anywhere. But these threads are direct replies from Blizzard regarding that video. And there's at least 10 or 12 of them now. I've ignored most of them because they've been really silly responses by Blizzard. Now, this one particularly really angered me because they seem to have employed somebody, or there is a chap on the EU forums. We're going to call him a chap. Could be a lady. Could be a lady. Called Draztal, or Drazdal, whatever he wants to be called. He, she, we don't mind. Draztal seems to have probably not played since vanilla. I don't think so. Yeah, I think he's been employed to be a forum moderator, a forum member, a community response guy. He has no... From his responses, he can't possibly have played the game when I was talking about it. Not even remotely possible. To give you an example of this, Drazdal, one of Drazdal's replies to the threads regarding the Mists of Pandaria video that I made was, I have never seen a player who openly envied another player's gear. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you fucking mad? What? Through all the first expansions, that is all people did. Now, I was not a gear whore. I never have been, never will be. No one has ever really envied my gear. Maybe towards my warrior at the end of TBC, but that is it. I was never a gear whore. I never had great gear. In fact, I joined guilds when mine collapsed. They were already in endgame progression. I didn't get much gear, much like I'm doing now in Method. I've joined Method. Everyone expects your gear to be overwhelmingly good. It isn't. I still have looking for raid items. I still have badge items and shit like that. I just don't give a fuck. That's quite simply it. I don't give a fuck about gear. I couldn't care less. I'll get it when I need it. You know, if it's free, yeah, I'll take it. Whatever. Fucking not bothered. But, so I ignored that one at first. I read that and I was so angry I almost went onto the WoW EU forums, which is just insanity, right? That's like sticking your balls in a vice. This one just gets me even more angry. Now, the big phrase that's come from that video, and I'm fucking openly taking credit for it, fuck you guys if you don't believe me, is the phrase journey. I started that. Me. Fucking me. I did that. The journey. And the journey is a path that doesn't need to be laid down by Blizzard. I tried to express this in the video, that the journey is something that's out in front of you. It's a vast open world that you can go and explore and do all sorts of things, all sorts of crazy things in it. You can raid if you want to, you can PvP if you want to. But the problem is with us constantly resetting the starting point every time a new tier of content comes out, that the journey is always very, very short. There's no journey at all. In fact, you level and then you jump straight into the latest content. That's how it works now. Draztal replied this way today, and this is on the thread that I've linked for you guys down below. Just for the sake of curiosity, since there are mentions about focusing on the journey, my word, fuck you, and never getting to the destination. He's referring there to inaccessibility. That's his open comment. To, they call it a journey and the destination. The destination, let's say in vanilla, was to get to Naxxramas, for instance. Okay, that was the last raiding content. In TBC, it was the Sunwell. In Wrath of the Lich King, it would have been defeating Arthas, hard mode. So on and so forth. So that's the destination. The journey is our path to get there. Okay, very simple stuff. What's the point of a journey that doesn't lead to a destination? Really? Really? That's your reply? What's the point? What's the point? In your role-playing adventure game, what is the point of a journey? What? This is so infuriatingly stupid. Like, this guy is just so fucking stupid. I love Blizzard. This guy is a prick. It just makes no fucking sense. Leads to a destination. Of course it leads to a destination, but the idea is that the journey motivates you to go on a journey and arrive at a destination. I just want to be aware that I'm not replying to these threads on Blizzard, but this guy is fucking crazy. First, the other reply he said was, oh man, that's going to drive me insane. I can't remember it. Don't you hate that? Never mind. He said something else insane. So, trust me that he said something else that was really annoying and infuriating, right? Just trust me that he said that. Yeah, so what's the point of a journey that doesn't lead to a destination? That just is the most obligatory, stupid comment I've ever heard in my entire life. And in fact, informed the EU forums, who are usually like, usually the WoW EU forums are pretty much a cesspool of people. They instantly reply, like within fucking seconds, they reply, what's the point in reading a book when you can just skip to the last page? It's the most perfect response to that statement I can possibly imagine. What is the point in a story if you can just skip to the end? The enjoyment lies in the fucking journey to get there, you dumb bastard. Oh man, that drove me crazy. Let's go to our big question of the day. In fact, just for funs and shits and giggles, let's pop up today's daily comment that appeared for us on the YouTubes. Daily comment came from Anarchy Rules 25. Yeah, Anarchy Rules, man. Fuck you, queef. I thought this was particularly enlightened. I thought, as someone's pointed out in the chat, very sage. Namaste. Fuck you, queef. I love this. Anarchy Rules, you're fucking tearing it up, man. You're so heavy metal. I hope your hair is green, spiky, straight up, and all that good jazz, because you were tearing up the internet with that comment. Fuck yeah. Fuck you, queef. That's imagination time, that's what that is. Today's comment came on, actually, yesterday's Daily Preach video. So I will be checking the comments on the Daily Preach videos. You can also send them to me via YouTube. I'll check them. I'm only going to check the last few, so it's not a best way of getting hold of me. Or send them to preachgaming@gmail.com. I'm going to include all those questions in here. So again, if any live chats have got some questions for me, get them ready soon. This came from Megaberry. Megaberry. What do you think could be done with the MMO style to completely change it? The whole questing, raiding, and PvP model, in my eyes, cannot be changed to the point of being something completely new and original. I played the final Guild Wars 2 beta and it felt really fresh. The random events, points of interest, and even the viewpoints that are jumping puzzles to them were amazing. The PvP never got boring and it felt like a grind fest. And never felt like a grind fest, I should say. Well, there's a contradiction in that question, isn't there? What do you think can be done with the style to completely change it? And that's the answer in itself. It needs to be completely changed. The big problem that I don't have an issue with Guild Wars 2. I don't particularly have an issue with Star Wars The Old Republic. I don't have an issue with Rift. They're all doing something good. Okay? They're all doing something pretty cool. There's something in Rift I quite like. There's some stuff in Guild Wars 2 I quite like. There's stuff in Star Wars The Old Republic I quite like. The problem is, it's just one or two things. Overall, it's like giving up, it's like giving up a whole, I don't know, what, like a glass of drink for a slightly larger glass of drink. It's just, it's not worth it, you know? You've got to go to a lot of effort to do that. It's like travelling to the ends of the earth to get this next glass of drink that's slightly larger. WoW is in a place now which is pretty cool for Blizzard, in the fact that people have multiple alts with loads of gear, because gear is easy to come by, and that's a lot to give up for a lot of people. There's a lot to give up for me. Look at people who are achievement farmers. A lot of people like achievements. I'm one of the few people, I think, who really hates achievements. I just don't like them. I never saw the point in them, especially after I had to re-roll several times. I have achievements on one character, like my Druid, for example. My Druid has the Immortal title. My Warrior does not, because I was raiding on my Druid when we did the Immortal, like serve a second, fuck you method. And so I want that, but when I lost that, I lost all motivation for any kind of achievements. I just didn't care anymore. They weren't all on one character. I couldn't give a shit. But overall, this builds up this sort of affinity and relationship between you and your character. As much as you don't like to admit it, or some people don't like to admit it, you do have a relationship with your character. I've got some great memories with my Priest. I've got great memories with my Druid, great memories with my Warrior. That is a lot to give up for one better thing, one slightly better thing, you know? That's a hell of a lot to give up. Your question refers to how can the style of MMO change? It has to change from being just looking like WoW. That is just it. In the MMO scene, the new big MMO cannot look like WoW, because whether you want to admit it, or I want to admit it, or, you know, the 60 odd people there want to admit it, as soon as we look at a screenshot of a new MMO, and it has a very similar click action based strategy and UI like WoW, instantly we recognize things and say, well, that's my health bar, that's where my spells are, those are where my key bindings are, that's where my menus are. Instantly you relate it to Warcraft, and part of you instantly dismisses that game. It's like, well, it just looks like WoW. We're all guilty of saying that. Yeah, it looks like WoW. And it's going to take a lot more than a better world, maybe a better graphics engine, especially with people getting less and less interested in graphics. Graphics is becoming something that's sort of really, really high and, you know, intense, but requires money now for PC gamers. Like Crysis 2, like, dwarfed a lot of machines. And people just didn't play it. I know a lot of people that just didn't play Crysis 2 on the PC. They'd rather play it on a console, because we just can't afford to shell out that kind of money. It needs to be completely changed, which is almost the answer to your own question. It just needs to be completely changed. I am dying for another FPS MMO. I'm one of the few people who I know who has played a real FPS RPG MMO. It was called an MMO FPS RPG, and it was brilliant. It was the best time ever. It was better than World of Warcraft. Easily better than World of Warcraft for a game that was incredibly buggy and nasty and horrible looking. Graphically, it was shit. It crashed all the time. But what an experience. And it was nothing like Warcraft. And it was the same as Warcraft. It was just totally different. It was amazing. In terms of your comment about Guild Wars 2 felt really fresh, it is really fresh. It's brand new. It's all good. random events, points of interest, all that stuff is cool, these little bits and bobs, but we saw that in Star Wars The Old Republic as well. As I said, if Star Wars The Old Republic launched with a good endgame, we would all still be there today. The leveling process was infinitely better than World of Warcraft. In fact, one of the main reasons I think I dislike Mists of Pandaria leveling system is purely because Star Wars The Old Republic demonstrated how good a leveling experience can be without ever feeling like a grind. Star Wars The Old Republic at no point felt like a grind in any way whatsoever. It was a full-on journey. Oh, you like the way I linked that back? Fuck yeah, the journey is important. The journey is so important. This was a journey. Star Wars The Old Republic was a journey I cared about. I did not want to do my next quest to get a certain amount of XP. I wanted to see what happened next in my journey, whether it was my storyline, whether it was the thing I was doing there. Even though it was a quest and it's XP, it was about just traveling that journey. I wanted to see what happened next. I don't care about what level I am. I want to see what happened. I want my level 30 experience to be as epic as my level 60 experience. I don't want to wait till I cap in order to see the big stuff. I want big stuff to happen to me at level 10, at level 20, at level 30. I want it to happen all the damn time, and I just want it to be part of my journey. That's all I want it to be. So I'm sure the Guild Wars 2 feels really fresh now, just as Star Wars The Republic did, such as Rift did. The streams are blowing up everywhere. We're all streaming Guild Wars 2. It's a new big thing in the world. I want to see where it is in a few months, and if it's still going in a few months, I'll give it a look. I'm sure it's no problem to cap and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure it won't be a problem. I can easily catch up. I have faith in my own ability that I can catch up. So that's the answer I'll give to your question. It's a bit convoluted answer, and no, but it's not an easy question. The simplified version of it would be it needs to change completely, and I'm hoping that Project Titan, will be something along those lines. So I'm going to go to the chat right now. Any fucking questions before I go? PlanetSide 2, yeah, good call. PlanetSide 2 is an FPS MMO. It's slightly missing the RPG element. That's the only thing about it. I played PlanetSide 1 a lot. Fantastic game. Really good game. I'm sure PlanetSide 2 will actually be tremendous. I will be playing it. I will be bringing stuff to you. I'm hoping to get some stuff from Gamescom on PlanetSide 2. I really am going to be trying to get something about PlanetSide 2 from Gamescom for you guys. And that is something that I am really personally looking forward to it. I still want the RPG element, you know? I still want that intense RPG element that's not just unlocking weapons and stuff like that. I want to explore, I want to find things. I kind of want to build my own stuff. If I want to go mining one day, if I want to go farming herbs or something like that, I want to do that. But yeah, PlanetSide 2, fucking right there with you guys, right there with you. League of Legends, no. No. I can't stand League of Legends. I don't know. I can't stand it. It's just, I haven't played much team stuff, so that's probably why I can't stand it as much as... I know it's a good game. It's one of those things where I know it's a good game. I know it's a good game. And playing it, I kind of had fun until it was pure rage. And the community itself ruins League of Legends for me really badly. Really badly, so I'm not going to do it. It's one of those games I would love to care about watching. As much as I care about StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2, I can sit down and watch it. I can watch StarCraft 2 for 4 or 5 hours straight, no problem. League of Legends, fuck no, man. That shit drives me insane. Fucking drives me insane. Absolutely gets me, mate. Any more questions? What do I think about the black market being able to sell endgame best-in-slot items in Mists of Pandaria? Well, it's bullshit, isn't it? Let's face facts. That is fucking bullshit. Selling things like Ashes of Alar, sending things that have an outrageous drop rate, and people may or may not, it doesn't matter, have been farming those for essentially years. I have no problem with whatsoever. I really do not care. It's just more, for me, it's just more defeating of the journey. Because some people believe that it's only like the top end players that have a lot of gold. That just isn't true. There are horrifically bad players with a lot of gold. We see them every week. They buy items from our raids. They're there all the time, and they're fucking terrible. So what we have now is potentially, it could be considering, I'm only saying this in the current scope of World of Warcraft, where gear matters in a way it shouldn't, okay? Gear should not matter, but it does. That's not my rules, it's not the way I want it to be, that is the way it is. So in a world where anybody with a lot of gold can buy better gear, that creates some really potentially huge problems. It really creates some possible problems about people just easily sliding their way into content they shouldn't be there for and causing a lot of problems for people like yourself. I'm not saying all of you are the sort of mid-level player base or the casual player base, but let's assume you do a lot of pugging, you're trying to form your own raids, that kind of stuff, or you're joining regular weekly groups, or you're a mid-level heroic guild, or you're still working on heroic Dragon Soul now, that kind of guild there. Someone comes along with a ton of gear, you're instantly going to take him along and you're going to have a bad time. You're going to have a really bad time with this guy along there. I have come across a guy, and it hasn't been this expansion, but I came across a warrior with double warglaves, he was just geared to the teeth. He was an orc warrior, double warglaves. He had everything. Who only used whirlwind as a fury spec, like only whirlwind, no bloodthirst, no heroic strike, nothing like that. And it was the most bizarre shit I've ever seen. He came with me in a raid like a pug, and I was like, dude, this guy's gonna kick some ass. I'm gonna have to watch my threat and all that kind of stuff. I was tanking. And yeah, his DPS was just so abysmally bad. It doesn't make sense. And these people will start leaking more and more because now you've got people who are finding a lot of gold or buying a lot of gold. Still possible to buy a lot of gold in WoW. I don't endorse it. I don't recommend it. But you can buy a lot of gold and then leaking into your raids. That would be terrible. Any more questions? How is Ben doing? Ben is doing fine. Bear with me. I might be able to do this. I might not. Come here. I'll have to check the camera for this. There you go. Now, I know what you're thinking. No, this is not Ben. This is not Ben. This is Mabel. Alright, down Mabel. Down you go. Good to see you. Ben has a friend staying with us for a week. She's rather big. But, coincidentally, she's less hassle than Ben is, because Ben is a puppy. This girl right here is 5 years old and has slept all day on my couch while I worked. And I did the Dead Space video. I'd much appreciate if you guys could check out that Dead Space video. It's on the channel already. Just let me know if you like that style of review. A couple more questions. The next podcast. Hopefully this weekend, but it is the game show weekend. So don't. That could go horrifically wrong. I hope it doesn't. But it might do. It might do. So I'll let you know on that one. Do you think people have been in the MOP beta too long for it to directly hurt sales and resubs? No. I would if I didn't see the majority of players literally just stood at the spawn point in Valley of the Four Winds. There are hundreds upon hundreds of people there, and the only people I see outside the raids when it's raid testing are the big guilds. I mean, there's a lot of people, but that's because like we're running 3 groups, so that's 30 people at least from Method, all surrounding the gate. There are a lot of people there, but they're just big raiders. The rest of the player base, what you find is a lot of people are just creating level 85s, especially monks, and just joining a dungeon, doing really badly and leaving. It's very difficult at the moment to get through the level 85 dungeons, which is Temple of the Jade Serpent and the Stormstout Brewery, without changing players 3 or 4 times at least. There's so many people just saying, I want to play a priest today. Making a priest, not gemming it, not enchanting it, just going into a dungeon, doing really badly and getting kicked, especially healers. I can, if you notice on the Mr. Pandaria beta videos I've done recently, every time I do Temple of the Jade Serpent, I never, ever show the last boss, because it is literally an impossibility in most groups to do that last boss, because it has a debuff that needs to be dispelled. No healers have dispelled that debuff in the last 4 weeks of beta. I just cannot get through it. And we spam. I have footage of me spamming dispel me before the fight. You have to dispel this debuff. And people saying and say when they have the debuff, dispel me, dispel me, dispel me, and then dying on the floor. Horrific stuff. Horrific. How much preparation do you think is required for someone that skipped out on Cataclysm to be competitive in MOP? None at all. It's a reset. Hell, man, it's a reset. None at all. You don't need any preparation. There's a series on my channel called The Pandas Are Coming. It's up to 2 parts right now. Part 3 of that is coming out on Friday. Part 3 of that, and if you want to know anything about the preparation for that, just watch those 2 videos. They're only, I think, about 7 or 8 minutes long each, so 16 minutes, and the 3rd part's coming out on Friday. Watch those and you'll be up to speed exactly what you need to do to prepare for Mr. Pandaria. Part 3 again coming on Friday, so no problem with that. Last question. I've already answered League of Legends questions. Have I heard about the PTR crashes? Yes, but it is nowhere near as bad as what we have dealt with on Mr. Pandaria Beta. Believe me. To give you an example, on Saturday it took our guild 5 hours to do 3 pulls of the raid test boss. And on Sunday, I was online from 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock, so 3 hours. In that time, we did 2 pulls of the boss. And Blizzard left us a completely derogatory and rude message saying that stress testing is part of the beta. It was just such a massive lie. I don't like being lied to. Blizzard have come up with a tendency recently of lying openly, quite blatantly lying. Their server, Mechatalk, is completely broken, and we could not get in the dungeon. I did film it, but I was going to make a video which was essentially the loading screen. You guys would have loved that. It was just a video of me on a loading screen. But I must have spent 3 hours on Sunday just looking at my loading screen. And all we did is we had 3 groups with extra 2 people in each, and the first online got in and pulled the boss, checked something, and then we wiped and died. It was horrifically bad. What did I think about the new Batman? Oh, yeah, I should say that. Okay, so Saturday, I'm going to end the show after this one, guys. On Saturday, we have the usual web show for about 30-40 minutes, beginning at 8 PM. So that's like 2.5 hours from when this goes live. Then we have the game show, and those who are going to be part of the game show from you guys, from the subscribers who post on preachgaming.com, those have been spoken to, and we will be doing that on Saturday for about 30 minutes. I'm aiming for a 30-minute game show. Then we will have a miniature Q&A, like me and Ghost do every single web show. We'll have the Q&A after that. And then I'm hoping, if Ghost is okay with it, is we'll take maybe a 5-minute break as normal, and then we'll actually do a spoiler cast. I don't like using that word, but that's what it's called, where we will be talking directly about The Dark Knight Rises with people who want to talk about it. We'll do it at the end of the show. I'm hoping he's okay with that. It's in the chat right now, so you can let me know if he's okay with that. We'll do a spoiler cast, because the good thing is Ghost actually saw Dark Knight Rises at 5 AM. He actually went to see it at 5 AM at the IMAX Theatre in Manchester. I went about 11 AM to my local big cinema, the normal big cinema, and I watched it there. But we haven't met up in between there. We talked a lot over text about the film, and we've shared our thoughts a little bit, but we haven't had any direct conversation about the movie. So it'll be fresh for you guys as well, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to call it there, guys. That's been the Daily Preach for today. I will see you tomorrow at 5 PM. You guys have a great day.